Hello guys, welcome back to Hey Manager with me Alex today, and we've got the FPL Strikers, the final edition of these. We've done the goalkeepers, the defenders and the midfielders. Now it's my recommendations for your forwards, and today we're going to go into the bit of detail. These aren't going to be ones that I think you should be selecting. It's your Haalands, your Watkins. These are going to be like your picks that I think will be able to reap you the benefits from like game weeks 1 to 8, who I think are going to be fantastic to just get throughout the season. This is like the prediction looking forwards, because remember last year we had no idea. You thought Nunes might do really, really well. Didn't really do too great in the end. You had Solanke, who was sort of under the radar. Cunha was under the radar. Mateta went under the radar. Those types of people I'm going to try and bring through and show you today. So let's have a look at wrong screen. Let's have a look at our first one, which is Dominic Solanke, which I never knew his last name was Mitchell, Dominic Solanke Mitchell, but has Solanke in the back. He has taken his move to Spurs, and let's just see how I think he's going to fare anyway. So last year, 37 game starts, 19 goals, 3 assists, and an expected goal involvement of 21.75, which is pretty much on the money, there and thereabouts. 20 bonus points, 4.6 points per match, which is massive considering how he played 37 games and was playing for a team like Bournemouth. Total points 175. He was quite high up in the ICT index overall throughout all positions, and then he's been selected by 26.1% of players. Now, he has moved to Tottenham. Will he get his first start in the first game week? I don't know. He's a bit of a risk to take at the moment. If it was Bournemouth, definitely he was going to play, no word of a lie, but Solanke at Spurs, do they want to play it safe? Do they want to just stick with the system and then let Solanke have a bit of time to adjust? Or, with him being a £65 million signing, are they going to shove him straight in there? Are they going to shove him straight into that role? You know, you'll have Maddison in behind, you'll probably see Son on the left, maybe Kulusevski on the right. I don't really know who else they might put into that position. Then, yeah, who's going to sit along that front four? That's the question. They can sort of fit everybody in, to be honest, but it'll be interesting to see how they line up. So I think throughout the season, you're going to see very, very good, overall points from Solanke. He's going to be Spurs' main output, but is he going to be the guy that's going to get you, your points at the very start of the season? Is it safer to take the likes of a Maddison or a Son, who you know is going to start, they're nailed on? Is it going to be Solanke? That's the question that you're going to go for in your sides. Next up after Solanke, we're going to go with sort of a favourite at the moment for quite a few like big content creators and people that do FPL videos. It's Muniz from Rodrigo Muniz Carvalho, and Muniz as we know him from Fulham. Interesting sort of player here. So he only had 18 starts last year. He scored 9 goals and got 2 assists. Expected goals involvements of 9.7. He got 12 bonus points, which shows he was pretty much one of the standout players for the Fulham side whenever they did play. Now, Fulham are my dark horse this year. There's always a dark horse. Last year you had like the Brentford players, your Wissers, your Mbuemos. I think this year it's Fulham. And I think Muniz, does he fit into that role? I don't know. I think you're looking at like your Fulham players going to be Anthony Robertsons, maybe your Lenos, maybe your Iwobi and Emile Smith-Rowe. Is Muniz going to start in front of Jimenez? Probably. Is he going to have a large output? I don't know. That's the question. Now, Muniz, 6 million is a steal. For a striker, is an absolute steal. You look at him on par with the other £6 million strikers. He is the one to choose. Do I think he's overall going to get you a lot of points throughout the season? We'll have to see. I think Smith-Rowe is going to be sort of your Cole Palmer role, where Nicholas Jackson was a bit obsolete for the majority of the season until the back end. Muniz, do I think he's going to be the key player? He could probably develop into it for sure, but I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Fulham do with their side. But Muniz is definitely another option to put into your sides, and it only costs 6 million. That is, a great deal. Next up, Jean-Philippe Mateta, or Jean-Philippe Mateta. Absolutely brilliant buy, I think. 7.5 million for Crystal Palace. He's been at the Olympics, so it's a question whether or not he will start up front. It's him or Edouard for the time being, but I think Mateta, he'll probably come straight back into the side. You're going to see Eze and Kamada supporting him. There's not going to be that many wide opportunities this year. It looks like, the only wide play you're going to see is the likes of Mitchell and probably Muniz, I think it is, or Munoz, can't remember which one it is, down the left and right flank, which you like your wing backs to a degree, because they do play like a 5 at the back with 2 in midfield with Wharton and who's the other fellow that they play in midfield? It's Wharton and someone else that they play in that midfield. And obviously going to be Kamada and Eze, and then Mateta up front most likely. 16 goals last year and 7 assists, only 12.14 expected goal involvements though. Mateta seems to exceed that massively. If you look at it, it's 23 goals scored. He nearly doubles his expected goal involvements, which is why Mateta's a bit of a... he's one of them players where I think he's going to crop up in the Olympics. You saw him crop up here, there and everywhere. I think Crystal Palace, if you want to try and get some proper output, who's going to be your scorer, who's going to be your main goal scorer, it's going to be Mateta. But Kamada and Eze, are they safer picks? Kamada's going to get you a 5.5 million. You're going to be able to spend 2 million more on your goal scorer, which would probably be your Ollie Watkins or potentially your Alexander Isaacs of the world. But for me, Mateta, 4.7 points per game, 191.9 on the ICT index, which isn't that high considering how many points he got. Only selected by 71% of players. I think he's a differential pick, but you're probably safer with the likes of an Eze or even a Kamada on that sort of that line. Maybe even the Manoz if you want to put him into your back line and he's going to play in essentially that right mid role. So we'll have to see how they play there. So next up, second to last one, the penultimate one, Nicholas Jackson. Now, I think Nicholas Jackson, the Enzo Maresca, who is the Chelsea manager, said he is a number 9. That's their number 9. He is going to be playing their number 9 position, Nicholas Jackson. None of this out left rubbish. He is their striker. Nicholas Jackson, to me, he started the season very slow, and then at the very end of the season, it picked up big time. 31 game starts, 14 goals, 6 assists. He got an expected goal involvement of 21.14. He had your typical start for a striker in the league. A few chances go astray, everyone starts getting on your back, but he proved himself, and 7.5 million is not a bad buy for a striker. Only selected by 2.2% of players as well. If you think about it, they're going to have Nkunku, they're going to have Cole Palmer, they're going to have, Mudryk, Sterling. Who do they play around that? I think it's going to be Cole Palmer, Nkunku, Jackson as your front three. What a front three that is, by the way. Especially Cole Palmer on the right, and Nkunku sitting maybe just as maybe a secondary striker. Jackson can go out to the left a little bit, and Nkunku can go to the left, interchange there. Cole Palmer takes that right-hand side for himself and sort of intertwines in the middle as well. But 4.1 points per match, 142 points. A massive ICT index, by the way. That's influence, creativity, and threat. Absolutely massive on that. So, to me, he's a great choice. Is he going to get you the consistent points though? I don't quite know. We'll have to see how Chelsea line up. Their front line looks very impressive, but their back, the back line is not going to be too great. So they're always going to be on the front foot, always going to try to get goals. So that's the one thing you got to look out for. And then, last but not least, it won't be a YouTube selection, would it, for Football Manager or FPL when you're not getting a controversial opinion in? And to me, Calvert-Lewin. Now, I took a punt years ago when I started doing this. I said Calvert-Lewin was going to score plenty of goals. It was his season where he scored 16, where he had a flying start, brilliant start, and then he fell off, and I think he got an injury and fell off quite considerably. Then there was another year with Adam Armstrong where I thought he was going to plough in. He scored about 3 goals in his first 5 or 6 games, then again fell off a cliff. Calvert-Lewin is my man. I think he is your focal point for that strike force. Now you've got Lundstrom, likes of Dwight McNeil, you've got your likes of I can't remember who else actually sits in that Everton midfield. Decore in there, I guess. Onana's left, so yeah, you're looking at bringing in maybe you're looking at Everton really only one focal point. It's going to be Calvert-Lewin. It's going to be Calvert-Lewin with crosses into the box constantly. A proper striker. Your number 9, 6 million he's worth. Now, he scored 7 goals last year, 3 assists in 26 game starts. He did have a very, very bad sort of time at Everton towards the start of the season, but he had an expected goal involvement of 14.43, which despite the fact that Everton going forward weren't fantastic, I think that's pretty impressive. Now, his ICT index wasn't very high. He's selected by 7.2% of people, which is an interesting, risk that people are willing to take. I think Sean Dyche, he came in last year, sorted out the defence. That's solid. The most clean sheets in the league for Pickford. They had the likes of Tarkowski, Branthwaite, doing absolutely fantastic stuff. Michaelenko's in there as well now. They're going to have Nathan Patterson back, who's going to be able to play down that right-hand side. I think it's a strong side at the back. It's if they can get that creativity going forward now, which I'm sure Sean Dyche would have worked on. And I think Calvert-Lewin, if you're going to get crosses in, you're going to look at punting it forward, getting your corners. Calvert-Lewin is the focal point. Is there anyone that's going to really assist him? Dwight McNeil, I think I quite like Dwight McNeil. I think pre-season he's looked very good. Like Lundstrom has looked decent enough from the goal kicks and the corner. The goal kicks from the corner kicks and the free kicks. Do I think they're going to have a massive impact? Because I couldn't even name you Everton's midfield at the moment, in all honesty, and who they'd actually play in that other that right wing role. I don't actually know who they play there, but. To me, Calvert-Lewin, he's going to get you goals. He's going to get you goals. Brighton, I don't have as, the opening day of the season. They've got so many injuries. They're playing the Jason Steele, Barco's in there. They've got Lamptey in there. Van der Heck is probably the best defender with Dunk alongside him, which isn't fantastic. The strike force isn't all there, and Ferguson is not going to be in there, so it's going to be Welbeck. It's going to be João Pedro, Mitoma. Solly March, I think, even start. Maybe a Dingra. But I don't see that midfield for Brighton outdoing Everton's midfield with Doucouré and the likes of I'm trying to think who else actually plays alongside him, but I can't see them outdoing that midfield because it's just so compact, so well. Dyche football is just playing a solid 4-4-2. Maybe at the moment he's maybe playing a 4-1-4-1 because Calvert-Lewin's up top by himself. Gives his midfielders just the ability to essentially run into the box and work their way into the box late. So yeah, we'll have to see how Calvert-Lewin fares, but I think Calvert-Lewin is a good pick nonetheless. So that's my selection. That's my last few bits for the forwards. I'll be bringing you my game week 1 squad this evening at 8 o'clock. Hope you're there to see it. And yeah, let's see how we fare for the first game of the season. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to pick my squad now for game week 1, and then I shall upload that as well following this one. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, as ever, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I shall catch you in the next episode. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.